Sup everyone, welcome back to another video, and once again today we're taking another hard jab at Dehya. Her banner pretty much is now released along with Sino's banner. They're the exact same except one has Dehya on it, one has Sino on it. Alright, we're gonna go over all this stuff and I'm just gonna let you guys know before we go into it, it's gonna be pretty depressing. Very little good is coming out of these banners, and I'm gonna go through the weapon banners as well to tell you from my perspective as somebody who has pulled every single character as well as some of their 5-star weapons, and I've played fairly extensively with them and talked to multiple different mains where the problem really lies when it comes to these banners. I want to start with Dehya because I'm pretty sure that's what most of you guys are here for. Some of you guys at this point already knows these banners are not good. You're just here to see people trash more on Dehya and talk about how EroticWalruss is just gutting these characters, but regardless, let's get into it. This banner is atrocious for many reasons. As far as we can tell right now, Dehya is far below adequate when it comes to limited 5-star power rankings. Now, she's not a limited 5-star, hence why it could be justified that, you know, she's not that strong. However, when it comes to standard banner 5 stars, we got characters such as Kaching, we got characters such as Jean, we got characters such as Mona, and to a certain degree Diluc, and as well as Tainari are all fairly good characters. Now Dehya being slid right into the standard banner, even there I think she struggles to get above some of her peers. Now Chi-Chi is probably the one where Dehya is hovering close to around, and even then, could you really say Dehya is better than Chi-Chi definitively, or is she debatable when it comes to that placement? So when a character like that is presented as a 5-star unit on the banner, it really leaves much to be desired to begin with, right? So furthermore, let's review the 4 stars, and before anybody get into it, we gotta stop making it seem like Bennett is like our savior regardless of what kind of catastrophe befalls us on the banner. It's like at this point a lot of people would say it doesn't matter how atrocious a banner is, you just throw Bennett onto it and he's gonna solve all your problems. And while I would say maybe a year ago that could still be the case, because back then we still had a lot of characters who just scaled off of very basic stuff like attack and HP and defense, and with a third of them being attack characters, actually more so because the EroticWalruss really leaned into the attack scaling units back in the day. Nowadays we got HP, we got defense, we got energy regen, we got elemental mastery, we got all these different characters scaling with different things, and oftentimes Pyro and Bennett and being involved just doesn't feel as essential as it used to be. Now I'm not saying he is not great and powerful like he used to be. He's still a very widely used character. People love to lean on Bennett whenever it comes to difficult content, whenever they need damage, right? He can heal you, he can buff you, he kind of brings the best of both worlds. It's a great unit. But a problem with Bennett is also, well, not a problem for EroticWalruss maybe, is that most people don't need Bennett beyond C1. Anything beyond C1 is really just luxury for Bennett. Nowadays C6 Bennett, people are opening themselves up more and more to it, but it's like by no means unnecessary. That 15% of extra pyro damage isn't gonna make or break your Abyss clear. If you were leaning on that crutch to clear Abyss, you have many more areas in your account that you can improve, right? So that's probably not a priority for you. Getting Bennett to C1 is by no means a difficult task to achieve. So beyond that, what else does this banner have to offer? You see, like, this is the part that really hurts my brain. Okay, EroticWalruss, you likely know by the fact that you said Dehya is going to be a non-limited character that she's gonna lose sale value, right? So where are you going to make up for it? On her banner. Is Bennett enough? Maybe, but look at the other 2 characters. There are quite literally 2 free characters on this banner of 4 characters. 2 out of the 4 characters you can get in the game for free, and I don't want to be that guy, but when it comes to meta players or people who cares about their in-game performance and whatnot, Barbara and Kale just are barely used. Like, these characters, ever since Nahida's come, ever since Dendro has been more fleshed out, Kale has kind of just fell out, especially with Yao Yao now here. I mean, why would you ever bring Kale over Yao Yao in most scenarios? And also, Yao Yao's free to play as well, because you could have gotten a copy of Yao Yao for free. Honestly, why didn't you just put like Xingqiu instead of Barbara and then put Yao Yao instead of Call. I know Yao Yao just ran, but Sino just ran a couple months ago either, right? If you really wanted to sell this banner, that could have been a way to do it. Now I also understand that Baizhu is coming up very soon. Maybe Baizhu is going to kind of usurp Yao Yao as the support healer, whatever role, and having her here doesn't. But then it, like, who cares, HoYoVerse? You are here to make money. You're not here to make friends. So if you really wanted to drive up the sales, why didn't you do it? Honestly, looking at this banner, I cannot recommend it. I simply cannot. Bennett C1 is all you need, and you can get him elsewhere. He rotates through the monthly shop as well, I believe. It's not a very difficult thing for people to get C1 Bennett nowadays, and even if you don't have C1 Bennett or Bennett at all, there's so many great options in the game that you can rely on that you don't have to risk losing, like potentially a guaranteed 5-star or maybe an early 5-star proc on your summons. It's not worth the resources, it's not worth the risk, and the 4-stars you're gonna get are not sufficient enough to help you push through difficult content. Bennett himself won't really solve most issues for your team comps either. So all in all, this is very, very low value. Almost negative value. Like, I mean, like, it's just you're giving up more than what you are getting. Now, just glossing over Sino real quick. I know a lot of people really love him. I have him. I have his weapon as well, and I've actually tested him on another player's account at level 90, and you know, he just wasn't living up to the hype. Kaching is really, really a budget friendlier version of Sino, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have Kaching. Even if you don't want to, I know they don't play similarly, but Kaching can get the job done very, very efficiently. I'm telling you guys, they're close when it comes to damage output. Sino wins out, but not by a far margin. Okay, yes, he's a limited 5-star. If you compare both of them at C0, Sino does edge out just by a tad, but truly a limited 5-star character compared to a standard banner. And most of you guys probably have a couple consolations on Kaching because she keeps appearing when you want other characters. So you know, it's up to you if you want to pull him, but honestly, with these 4-star characters, I really don't recommend it. Okay, I really don't. It's almost like HoYoVerse is telling you and screaming at you through the monitor saying, don't pull on this banner. That's how I feel, at least. Finally, we got to talk about the last cash bait when it comes to value for people, right? The weapon banner. 2 new weapons, really good for both of them. Actually, they have great crit rate scaling and best in slots for Sino and Dehya, of course, and also some other characters could use these weapons. But I do have to say, when you think of Claymore characters, none of them really jumps into mind when it comes to prevalency in the meta, or just popularity, or just variety. To be honest, you got Eula, you got Dilu, you got Ito, and these are all very niche units. There are some 4-stars out there that people love to play, but they're all pretty much considered niche. So far, you really can't say there's a universally versatile Claymore unit that's out there that can be slotted into a bunch of different teams that can help your account flourish in different ways. And what I'm essentially saying is these characters don't really have great value. They're there for like a niche playstyle that you can dive into and heavily invest into for a more limited form of play. And when it comes to polearm users, there are so many great free-to-play polearms at this point that you know, getting more DPS for your polearm, it's like, why even bother? There are other DPS polearms that most people likely already have, especially that Staff of Homa just came and is about to go away. People likely invest into that or try to pull for Yelan's bow and end up getting Staff of Homa. Why would you now turn around and snipe yourself this particular weapon when, you know, Staff of Homa was, and I mean, by the time this video comes out, I think still is on the table if you want to go hard on it, right? I think Aqua Simulacra, Staff of Homa is just a better banner overall, and if you skip that banner, I don't see why you would go for this banner. The 4-star weapons on here is just questionable at best. Dragon Bane is like hard carrying the 4-stars, and let me tell you, if you're telling me Dragon's Bane is the best 4-star on the banner, please just skip it. Like, for the love of everything that is heavenly, just skip this banner altogether. Skip the characters, skip the weapons. I'm doing you a justice. Yes, I think maybe I'm being a little more critical than I need to be, but you guys need to understand there are far better options out there. Imagine pulling on these banners right after you had the option to pull Hu Tao and Yelan, as well as Staff of Homa and Aqua Simulacra. You chose to skip that just to pull on this banner. It is borderline sinful when it comes to value, but if you truly love it, you don't care what people say. I don't know why you're watching these videos, maybe just for entertainment, maybe just having a voice in the background. But if this voice has any value to you, please, I urge you, skip these banners. There are far better options. If you don't like Hu Tao, Yelan, Homa, Simulacra, there are other options out there. Like pretty much 80 to 90% of the banners you're gonna get in the game is going to be rivaling this, if not better. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I wish you guys the best of luck if you're polling for these. Just get what you want, get it early, get it fast, get in, get out. If not, wish you luck in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Urge you to stay safe. Peace, bye.